Okay, this is Rick with 45 News Utah, and soon to be Western States Media. And I do have another media company that I want to start too, called Morningstar Times. And I don't know how far that one will go. But I wanted to have a personal talk with you guys about starting a media company in today's environment. And one thing I've noticed lately is, you know, free press is being limited, and we don't really have free media. I mean, we do to a point, but in order for me to start something like this, I had some great ideas. It was like almost like a vision, you know, that I was given. It's just the neatest thing in the world. The 45th day of the state legislature, they finished their session, and that was the exact night. And we're talking, you know, they finished at midnight, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I actually started 45 News Utah. So it's 45 days, 45th state in the union is Utah. And it was just a vision I had. And the problem I'm having with my vision is Facebook and YouTube. Now, Facebook has been understanding. They haven't really stopped any of the video I had on the immunization, the vaccine, and the pill. That's, you know, kudos to Mark Zuckerberg. I thought that was a Second Amendment deal there. You know, we have to not, or a First Amendment. The Second Amendment, we'll get into that later. But, you know, YouTube's been really sneaky. And one thing about YouTube is whenever you bring up the vaccine or the pill or, you know, the new COVID strains that are crashing into America as we speak and being funneled in through the southern border, they immediately sent me a nice letter and restricted me. But it didn't go very far. But what I'm saying to you guys is, in order for our democracy slash republic to function, we have to have free media. Now, when a story breaks about a shooter, the media needs to be on that like wolves on a deer. You know, we should never stop. The media needs to be prying and chasing down the story. One thing about the media, it's like the paparazzi, but instead of getting photos of some, you know, famous guy, you know, in his spandex sweats or whatever, walking out of a gym with a you know, cup of Starbucks in his hand, the media should be really asking why and what is going on here, and digging for information. You know, that's what the media should be. You know, going out and recovering information on their own. You know, not just what the guy's brother said or what his mother said. They should be really digging. But we have a problem in America. So social media tends to give us a pattern of a person. Now, I understand that. I do. But when the social media accounts of these people are actually being shut down immediately, you know, there's no way we can actually look into these people's pasts. We need to be knowing if they're, who has, you know, influenced their life. Was it a terrorist organization, a real terrorist organization, or were they just, you know, mentally incompetent, showing the signs that BCI should have picked up, or the FBI, or, you know, the Department of Justice, and said no guns. Another thing is, you know, the media should be doing, what prescriptions were these people on? This is what they should be calling and prying and saying, this is freedom of information. It's an ongoing investigation, but the people need to know. This is a fight we're in. It is. We need more people in the field. And that's what I'm doing here. But if I can't garner enough support, I can't bring the news while I'm trying to do an average job that's taking up time, without support and help and financial support. You know, GoFundMe pages to start up businesses. A guy makes some kind of device that, you know, stacks paper or you know, does something stupid, and he gets $1 million in startup funding from people. Just out of the blue, just thrown at him for a GoFundMe. Information is what is going to make a difference in this world. And if we don't have the right reporters out there that's not tied to the big media moguls, you're not knowing what's actually happening to your own country. Now, a lot of people say it doesn't affect my life. Let's just take the Second Amendment as an example of this. So, with the shootings and the gun control legislation that was promised during the election and during the different candidates for the Democratic, they wanted to elect their president and vice president. There was a lot of stuff about gun control, complete gun control. I will take away guns. I will do this, all this. Okay. But information provided directly by the media, that's like oxygen to the brain. Okay, you're the brain. You own the government. They work for you, not for the corporations. That's where the discourse is in this country. If you don't get the oxygen to your brain, your cognitive skills are going to be suffering immensely. You're not going to know what to do. Your body's going to fail because you're going to make mistakes because you're not getting the proper amount of oxygen in your brain. That's what media does. They give you the facts as they find them. That's what their main job is. They need to go out and search and be funded to do this. The problem is the major media moguls have seemed to somehow controlled the free press. I mean, there should be reporters on the southern border where they're saying no access to any media at all. They should be storming that place. They should be reporting live to you on national news every single night saying this is what is happening to us. Reporters need to get in their faces. We should be getting live reports from the border. What's happening? How many people are coming through? Are they sick? Have they been tested? What's the reasoning? Who are they? What's happening in all these centers they're setting up for tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors? And I will say lately, my interest in the news has actually fallen, and it's been tough for me. But I have been sick since January. January 15th, I did get sick, and it has been just a fight to get back to normal. I try to look at a story or read a story, and within minutes, I literally forget it. I never have been like that my entire life. I've always been informed, completely informed. I always had a view on everything, and this illness I've suffered has been immense. It's just, it's been really, really a bad deal for me and my memory. But I have to get out. I have to get the word out. I'm developing these news media organizations to make a difference in a world where the media, the free press, is dying. The non-media mogul controlled press is dying. Before long, if we continue along this path and we don't develop new media stations and outlets and fund them, you can turn on the news and it's going to be like another executive order. Well, how did I lose my freedoms? Well, executive order. Fixing the past is not what's happened in the past. Once things are in, just like the gas prices, you're pretty much done. The price of everything goes up. I mean, there could be a huge amount of resources being put towards that on this station. The problem is it's not being shared. It's not being viewed. And if we continue along this line, the only word you're going to get is from the major news networks, the media moguls that control, and they control every angle of the game. You're receiving what you're being allowed to receive, and anybody else is being stifled. So I just want to come to you personally with what my vision is. My vision is to start 45 News Utah, make it more about Utah stuff and what affects us. Western States Media will be a international, national media corporation, and it will send people out in every direction. And then hopefully Morning Star Times can even be done. I don't know, it's too close to Morning Star News, but at least there's an avenue I can try to make a difference and give you the citizen the information you need to know. So you know more when you go to vote. You know more when somebody brings up, you know, a new bill that is going down the pike that's going to affect you. But I have to have the resources. And I have to have people on the ground. I'm not the guy that's got $100,000 just to blow on equipment. I have zero. But I have a vision. I know out there there's other people. I know out there there's people that are going to say, hey, you know what? I've already gotten a couple text messages about people interested. But I need organization. I need news anchors on the ground. I need a new studio. I need a place that we can do this. And get people researching breaking news. People actually go to where this is happening. You know, eventually I'd hope to be in Washington, D.C. when they're doing their insanity, which is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, which is exactly what's happening. I want our people on the ground in the White House, in a news conference, looking at them and saying, are you nuts? Asking questions that we want to know, not what some media mogul has already talked to the administration about what they're going to say. That's not news. That's a script printed off and told to you by a bobblehead that works for major corrupt news organizations. But I can't do this without you guys. I'll go as far as I can go. I will continue to fight and struggle and do my best. But I don't need to be doing what I'm doing if nobody cares and everybody's just done. You know, what defines us in our lives is our ability to keep going. Pick ourselves back up and say, I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. And that's what I promised myself this year. I promised myself I wouldn't give up. I will not stop. I have so much time on this earth, and that's it. That's it. What I do here is going to affect the next generation and the next generation. Hopefully, I'll at least try or build something great. So I want to thank all of you for watching. And I hope this gets to you. And hopefully others will see and say, hey, you know, maybe they know somebody has a bunch of money that's willing to help build an organization or just to do a GoFundMe startup. Because without equipment, without, you know, news anchors and a studio and the ability to go out and do stuff and actually bring you real news from a non-billionaire's point of view, I have to succeed in this. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. And as always, 45 News Utah will be here to accept any of your comments. I haven't heard many lately, but you guys are great. I hope you have a great night. Thank you.